Hi, I'm Dr. Lili, and this is my pocket pediatrician. It's just a couple of days until the 4th of July, and I'm really excited. I love this holiday. There are pool parties and barbecues. It means summer is getting into full swing. Our kids are gearing up for the neighborhood bike parade. We get to go to classic old town parades just like when I was a kid, and we get to see beautiful firework displays. It just makes me happy. Anytime I have to work on the 4th of July, I always feel a pit in my stomach. And it's not because I'm missing out on time with my family. I'm pretty much used to that. I'm just dreading the injuries I know we're going to see from fireworks. That perfect summer night can turn into a family's worst nightmare with just a quick flash and a boom. Let's discuss the best way to keep your family safe and avoid being one of the 11,000 people injured by fireworks every year.
When the doctor says my child has a condition, I'll learn more at my pocket pediatrician.
I grew up in a state that didn't allow fireworks except for professional use, so personal fireworks were pretty rare. We didn't really have bottle rockets or firecrackers or any of those things when I was growing up. For most of us, a 2-hour drive to the state line to get some illegal fireworks wasn't really worth it. I do remember playing with sparklers in the neighborhood when people picked them up on their way back from vacation. The American Academy of Pediatrics released an infographic this year discussing some of the dangers of sparklers. They mentioned that they can reach over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and actually they can sometimes even go up to 2,000 degrees. I don't let my kids play with our stove or our gas grill. I've never actually handed them a lighter or a flamethrower and said, have at it. Every year, millions of parents hand their children sticks that are shooting out little tiny flames that are over 1,000 degrees, and it's just as much of a summer tradition as catching fireflies or spending a lazy day at the pool. There's a huge misconception out there that it's just a sparkler. Sparklers often result in serious burns both to the user and to bystanders. They can burn skin, singe your hair, and ignite clothing, leading to severe burns in children. 66% of the burns in sparklers occur in children under the age of 5. Overall, sparklers account for 10% of firework-related injuries. In 2016, sparklers accounted for over 900 emergency department visits. I was in a wedding several years ago, and we had a sparkler send-off for the bride and groom. It was supposed to be magical and romantic. Unfortunately, they waited till the end of the evening to hand out the sparklers, and a lot of people had had a little too much to drink. Somebody in the celebration singed my hair and burned my neck, but I actually got off better than some of the other wedding guests did. The United States Consumer Product Safety Commission regulates all fireworks, banning anything with more than 50 milligrams of explosives for personal use. They also have regulations including fuse burn time limits, cautionary labeling, and tip-over prevention. Consumer fireworks include fountains, bottle rockets, firecrackers, candles, sparklers, and smoke devices. The CPSC, or Consumer Product Safety Commission, conducts a special study every year on firework injuries. The percentages change slightly in their year-to-year reports, but the most recent report, which was from 2016, showed that about a third of all injuries were caused by firecrackers, 20% of injuries were from rockets, and sparklers caused about 10% of the injuries. According to the 2016 CPSC report, there were over 11,000 injuries related to fireworks and at least 7 deaths. The great majority of those injuries occurred within the 2 weeks before and the 2 weeks after the 4th of July. Every year, about 40 to 55% of injuries occur in children under 19. They most commonly occur on the hands, eyes, head, and face. About 30% of injuries to the eyes result in permanent blindness. Most of the injuries that happen from fireworks are burns, but people also get lacerations, abrasions, cuts, foreign bodies, and those foreign bodies are often lodged into the eyes. Complete and partial amputations of fingers, hands, arms have occurred as well. The most serious injuries occur from aerial devices and from firecrackers. Illegal and homemade devices often account for the worst injuries requiring hospitalization or that lead to death. Most eye injuries are a result of bottle rockets, and a very high percentage of those lead to permanent blindness. If you're thinking to yourself, well, we'll just sit back and watch what our friends are doing, we won't actually light them off ourselves, you still have a fairly high risk of getting hurt. 26% of the time, the injured party was a child who was an innocent bystander. We left a party a few years ago when people started lighting off fireworks. I went back a couple hours later to get something I had left behind at the party and found out that a bottle rocket had tipped over. It actually burned several children as it zigzagged through the crowd of kids watching. These children only sustained minor burns and nothing was reported. The statistics of the 11,000 only include reported injuries, and many times there are a lot of injuries that go unreported or don't seek medical care. People are shooting off illegal fireworks. They're not going to go to the hospital and say, oh, I was doing something illegal. So a lot of times they're going to try to avoid seeking care in these cases. So the numbers are actually probably much higher. Fireworks also can lead to significant property damage. Fireworks account for millions upon millions of dollars in personal property damage. Injuries, however, from public fireworks displays are very rare. Leaving fireworks only in the hands of professionals has been proven over and over to protect people, prevent injuries, and save lives. Programs designed to educate people on how to prevent injuries using fireworks don't seem to help, perhaps because alcohol is often involved in private use of fireworks. You can also go to a lot of websites and they'll give you tips on how to safely use fireworks, including things like have a hose nearby and other things. I'm not here to give you any of those tips. I think, and the American Academy of Pediatrics believes, that the best way to be safe with fireworks is to enjoy them from a distance. The only safe way to enjoy fireworks and celebrate the 4th of July is to watch a professional display. Honestly, they're better anyway. And your tax dollars are paying for it, so you might as well go enjoy it. I know nobody wants to fight traffic to get to the events, and you'd rather just sit home and blow up some fireworks in your driveway. But having seen the alternative, which can include permanently disfiguring a child, the traffic seems like a small price to pay. If those little yellow pop-up trailers with the buy one, get 3 free on the fireworks just seem too irresistible, maybe you should just do a quick Google search on child injured by fireworks. I'm not going to put those images on here today, but if you're planning on hitting up those 3-for-1 sales, I'd like you to have some of those images in your head before you get started. So let's put on our red, white, and blue. Let's gear up for some time to be grateful for our country, our friends, our families. But how about this year we save our lighters for the grill and leave the fireworks to the professionals? Have fun this 4th. Celebrate safely. This is Dr. Lili with My Pocket Pediatrician. Make sure you comment below. Also, make sure you don't miss out on any new content. Hit that little red subscribe button down in the corner. This is Dr. Lili with My Pocket Pediatrician. Thanks for stopping by. Happy 4th of July.
When the doctor says my child has a condition, I'll learn more at My Pocket Pediatrician.